Hey guys, this is Kushal Shah with Fortinet's FortiGuard Labs. Today we'll be looking at an interesting security vulnerability that I found in the Windows 10 platform. At the start of 2020, Microsoft Corporation stopped active support for Windows 7 platform, and due to that, many users had to make the jump to Windows 10. So like every other user, I too did the same. But since there have been several concerns with regards to user privacy and data privacy, I tried to keep an eye out for issues regarding user privacy. And I came across something pretty interesting, and I would like to share that with you. So, if you see here, when you first install Windows 10, the operating system allows you to set the privacy settings for the device. So, this is the administrator user, and as you can see here, you have the diagnostics data settings option available when you're installing, and you can either set it to full or you can set it to basic. But what I did next was I tried to add another user, and I noticed that option was not available to the secondary user. So, for the secondary user, you don't have the option to set the diagnostics data settings. Interesting. Hmm. So does that mean that every user has to abide by the settings, by the privacy settings set by the administrator? Maybe, maybe not. So that led me to discover the two vulnerabilities that I found, and we'll just have a look at what that is. So this vulnerability has now been fixed. It is identified as CVE 2020-1296. And in this case, we have two users, Hacker 893 and Hacker 895. And what we'll be doing is we'll be changing the settings from basic to full. So in this case, the administrator so what we'll do is just pause the video. And what has happened here is the administrator has selected the full diagnostic settings during initial installation, and the standard user is logged into the system concurrently. So if the administrator changes the data settings to basic, the standard user and thereafter the standard user logs back in and changes it to full, the administrator user also has the data diagnostics data privacy setting set to full. So this is a clear case of a race condition, and it is a privilege escalation as well. So, and this reduces the privacy of all the users on the device. So we just have a look at how that works. So as you can see here, we are in the administrator user. We have the privacy setting set to full. Now, what we do is we log into the standard user, but before that, we change it to basic. And yeah, we log in into the standard user. Okay. As you can see here, the diagnostics data settings is open. The standard user changes it to full, even though the administrator had changed it to basic earlier. Now, when we log back in into the administrator user, we notice, okay, so we refresh. We notice that the settings is now full, even though the admin had changed it to basic. So this is a clear case of a privilege escalation. It is basically due to the race condition, and this reduces the privacy of all the users on the system. So the second scenario is for full to basic. So similar to the previous scenario, we have two users, Hacker 893 and Hacker 895. And what we'll do here is we have the administrator selecting the privacy option to full, and the standard user just changes it to basic. And because of that change, the administrator also has it set to basic. So this actually is a privilege escalation in the privacy part, and this increases the privacy of all users, but there is a cost to that, at the cost of security. So we'll look into that momentarily. We'll just have a look at the reproduction. So as you can see here, we have two users. The diagnosis is set to full. Okay, we log back in into the standard user. As you can see, there is no race condition. The window is not open, and the standard user, can just go into the diagnostics and set it to basic, even though the admin had set it to as full. And now, if you log back in into the administrator, okay, so we log back in into the administrator, and we see that the settings has been changed to basic. So if you just refresh, yeah, it has been set to basic. So this change was not done by the administrator, this was done by the standard user, and it increases privacy, but there is a cost to that. So we just have a look at what that is. So if you see here, the Windows 10 data diagnostic settings for the full level clearly states that the data that they collect, the pseudo-anonymized data, actually helps Microsoft protect users against malicious and abusive domains, which is used to make updates to the security offerings that they have, such as Microsoft Edge and Windows Defender Smart Screen. And it helps Microsoft to better protect other users, not just this user, but other users as well. And by changing the privacy settings from full to basic, we effectively deny Microsoft capabilities to do so. So that is kind of a security issue because we are disallowing security features by Microsoft. And another very interesting thing that I noticed was over here, if you see, in the Windows 10, there are separate builds such as Windows Insider, and this is a separate program for users who want to get the latest and best updates, and also to get the latest security updates on their device. So if you want to get such updates, you need to have, as you see here, you need to have the diagnostics data settings set to full or enhanced. On the device, diagnostics data settings must be set to enhanced or full to receive insider preview builds. So when a user is able to reduce the diagnostics data settings from full to basic, they effectively deny any further security or feature updates in the Windows Insider channel. So these are two reasons which a full to basic scenario can also have an impact on some users or maybe even more. Another very interesting thing that I noticed was in the Windows 10 privacy policy, for diagnostics data and feedback, they state that this data is transmitted to Microsoft and stored with one or more unique identifiers that can help us recognize an individual user on an individual device and understand the device's service issues and use patterns. So this is pretty interesting because they say one or more unique identifiers. Okay, and they also say individual user on an individual device. So if you notice, the privacy options are not for individual users on individual device. Uh, all users on the device have the same uh, privacy option as far as the diagnostics go. So that is something of a concern, but there's nothing that we can do about it. So, nevertheless, what we did was we responsibly disclosed these two vulnerabilities to Microsoft, and they fixed one of the issues for basic to full, and the full to basic scenario has not been fixed and is quoted as is by design. So that was the So that was the privilege escalation vulnerabilities. And until next time, be safe and stay secure. So thank you. And yeah, this is Kushal here signing off. Thank you. Bye bye.